Welcome back. It's episode 9. Episode 9. Yeah, wow. It is. Yeah. Welcome back. You haven't been here in a while.
It's good to be back.
Made some. I didn't make any friends. Those were all my lifelong friends, but he does have. He has not over Preston, but not over my dad either.
Well, that's not fair.
I mean, but, you said tenure.
Good point.
My dad's been there for a long time.
He saw you, be born and stuff.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, it's good to be back. Since the last time I was here, I joined the Nation of Islam. And,
he got married.
Yeah. I now only answer to Minister Louis Farrakhan. So,
yeah. If you guys could not call him his dead name, that would be really cool. Yeah, but
yes. Watch a really good movie.
So we watched a really interesting movie this week. This week was my pick, and the reason behind this pick this week, the movie was Pearl from September of last year, 2022. And the reason that we picked Pearl, that I picked Pearl, was because me and Daniel had actually went to see the sequel to this movie, but it came out before Pearl did. X, which is also a slasher, but I think it was set in 1980.
70 something, like late 70s.
Something like that. Probably should have done some research. We saw it when it was out, so it was probably around March of last year. So
I think it was like 70, like 71 or 5. What was one of those years?
I can look it up really quick.
I'm pretty sure. If I remember, because Pearl did the same thing where they put the year right on the screen because 1918.
Yeah, 1979. Yeah,
right.
You were right, late 70s. Yeah. Nevertheless, Pearl is a prequel that takes place in 1918. That perils, or I guess not perils, but it follows the life of Pearl, who is the old woman who is the antagonist from X. Really well done. It was really fun. Yeah, I didn't know that until... I didn't know Mia Goth was just wearing old woman makeup until very, very recently, and I felt kind of dumb. But now it really makes sense. We'll get into the connections a little later because I think it's interesting.
That, man.
We got basketball on over there. But yeah, it was really interesting as a prequel. And I really enjoy how stylized both movies are, but nevertheless, that was why I picked it. We've both seen the movie that came before it, and now we have both seen the prequels, so when the eventual sequel to X comes out, we are going to go see it in the theaters.
We gotta go see it.
We could probably make it into an episode, and it'll be like a...
Dude, yeah, that'd be dope.
Maybe we can do like a rewatch of X.
I will say I really like the way they... I like the way they're going about it. X was a great movie. Pearl was a great movie. It was a really good movie. So, I can imagine that. What's the third one called?
The third one is going to be called Maxine.
Maxine.
3X.
Maxine, I know Maxine is going to be very well done. So,
yeah.
That's good.
They've been all very well stylized.
Mm-hmm,
well, the two that's come out, they've been really well stylized, but... I guess let's get through the semantics, all of the credits and the plot, and then we can get on with our thoughts and get really into the meat. Because there's plenty of meat in this movie. Fleshy meat. He's a LeBron fan. Yeah, I'm a LeBron fan. I'm really trying to get in that meat.
Oh, God.
Anyway, the runtime for this movie was 100 minutes, right around an hour 40. Written by Ty West and Mia Goth, directed by Ty West, Score done by Tyler Bates and Tim Williams. Camera work done by Elliot Rocket. The star of this movie was Mia Goth. She was incredible. Cast was David Cornsweet, Tandy Wright, Matthew Sunderland, Emma Jenkins Puro. So now I'm about to read the plot. I'm going to try my hardest to not stumble, you guys, but you have watched this podcast, so you know how this goes. Okay. Now, in 1918, during the influenza pandemic, Pearl is a young woman living with her German immigrant parents on their Texas homestead, while her husband, Howard, serves in World War I. Pearl's father is infirm and paralyzed, and her domineering mother, Ruth, insists that she help care for both him and the farm. Pearl, longing for a more exciting life, is captivated by the films she sees at the local cinema, and aspires to become a chorus girl, much to Ruth's disapproval. However, Pearl also shows signs of being a disturbed individual. For example, she kills farm animals and physically abuses her father. At the movie theater, Pearl meets a young projectionist who takes a liking to her while riding her bicycle. Home, Pearl stops along a cornfield and begins dancing with a scarecrow, fantasizing about the projectionist, and masturbates with it. When her mother realizes that 8 cents are missing from an errand Pearl did, Pearl is berated about being careless and has her supper withheld. Pearl's affluent sister-in-law, Mitzi, tells her of an audition being held to find new dancers for a traveling troupe, which Pearl envisions as a way out of her circumstance. She later sneaks out of the house at night and visits the projectionist, who shows her a free ride. An illicit stag film he acquired in France. He encourages Pearl to pursue her dreams. Pearl comments that she cannot abandon her family and that she wishes they would just die. When Ruth finds a program Pearl took from the movie theater, the two get into a fierce argument over dinner. A physical altercation erupts, during which Pearl shoves her mother against the kitchen hearth, igniting her dress and resulting in Ruth suffering life-threatening burns. Pearl drags Ruth into the basement and leaves her father seated in the kitchen. She flees to the movie theater, where she has sex with a projectionist. In the morning, the projectionist drives Pearl back to the farm so she can prepare for the audition. He is perturbed by how by a now maggot-infested roasted pig Mitzi's father left for Ruth the day prior, and by inconsistencies Pearl has told him, as well as her theatrical behavior when he attempts to leave. Pearl flies into a fit of rage at his abandonment of her and stabs him to death with a pitchfork before pushing his car with his corpse in it into a pond where an alligator she has nicknamed Theta eats his remains. Pearl dresses herself as one of Ruth's lavish gowns and dresses up her father before smothering him to death. Pearl arrives at the church where the audition is being held. She gives a dance performance she feels will win over talent scouts, but is devastated when she is rejected for not being young, blonde, or quote-unquote all-American. Mitzi accompanies her home in an attempt to console her. In the kitchen, Pearl makes a lengthy confession to Mitzi about her resentment towards Howard, who came from a privileged background but insisted that the couple remain on her family's farm, and admits she was relieved when she miscarried his child. She further confesses her feelings of alienation and insecurity and feelings of alienation and insecurity, her joy in acts of harm, and taking the lives of her parents and the projectionist. Pearl then manipulates a stunned Mitzi into confessing that she won the audition over Pearl. Jealous that Mitzi won the audition, Pearl chases her down the driveway and kills her with an axe. Pearl dismembers Mitzi's body and feeds her corpse to Theta before going into the basement and lying with a deceased Ruth, concluding that her mother was correct and that Pearl should make the best of what she has. She decides to remediate her wrongdoings by creating a comfortable home for Howard when he returns from the war. The next morning, Howard arrives unexpectedly in the kitchen. He is horrified to find the bodies of Pearl's parents seated at the dining table around the rotting pig. Pearl greets him with a protracted, painted smile. And that is Pearl.
The alligator's name was Theta? Mm-hmm. That whole time, I thought she was saying Peter. She's like, Peter.
No, she gave her a German name. Theta. I think that's true. You know.
I wouldn't. Yeah, I don't know.
You know. But yeah, that was Pearl. Much more violent, and that made it sound. That made it sound like a pretty straightforward movie, and it was much more perturbed and just downright violent than that little description made it out to be. So we always do this. What were your thoughts coming into this movie? Like, what were your expectations?
My thoughts coming into the movie. So since we saw X together, and I knew this was the, I guess technically sequel to X.
Mhm.
I thought at first it was gonna be like seeing like the poster. I don't know what I really thought. I thought it was gonna be about like Maxine originally, just because I hadn't really like watched the trailer or anything, so I didn't really know. I thought it was gonna be about Maxine, and I thought it was just gonna be about her like surviving, which now I know that's another one. But I expected. I thought the story before I watched anything, I thought it was gonna be about like why they ended up coming to the farm in the first place, like what led up to it and stuff like that. But it had nothing to do with that, like at all.
Yeah.
So that was my initial thoughts, and then once I watched the trailer, I watched the trailer right before I watched the trailer at work before I came home and watched the movie, and I was like, oh okay, and then I like understood what the fuck it was actually about, or what it was gonna be about. So yeah,
I think I was kind of the same way. I saw the trailer like for Pearl shortly after X, and I was kind of wondering what it was about. And it wasn't until like recently when I was like, because we talked about wanting to watch Pearl a lot.
we had talked about it a lot.
We talked about seeing it in theaters. We talked about seeing it after it came out of theaters, and now we are watching it for a podcast.
I want to say a funny moment where you were like, when you text me, and like we talked about the podcast, and you were like, we should watch Pearl for our movie.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit, yeah, we should. Like, we had always talked about it, and like, watching it for the podcast was never that we really talked about it. And you were like, oh shit, like, that should be,
Right.
that made a lot of sense. I just thought it was funny. I remember that.
But yeah, once I made the realization that Mia Goth played the old woman in the original movie X, and then now in the origin story of Pearl, she also wrote the movie. Kudos to her. That's pretty cool.
Did you know her prior?
Yeah, I knew her from a movie called High Life with Claire Denis, and then I knew her from another movie that I am not blanking on right now, honestly. But she's a really good actress. She's British, so
oh really?
Yeah, kudos to her on her acting. She did a really good,
She did.
like early 1900s Southern accent. Yeah. Pearl is a crazy movie.
To say the least.
Let's kind of just get into our thoughts, because this stuff is just it's just not stuff that you see every day, and for good reason though, and for good reason.
It's a great.
I guess I'll start. I thought the opening scene was really pretty. I thought, the opening scene was the most stylized scene of the movie. It's just like, I guess it gets more and more dry as the movie,
The opening scene caught my attention immediately just for how it opened up. Like, I loved, like, the dancing from her.
Yeah.
I could just like that a lot.
The whole cinematography, though, is like, from the beginning, it was, like, super stylized and dreamy, but by the end, it's, like, cold and, like there's no color. Like, the colors are not really popping, you know what I mean? She just sees, like, she's just, I don't know. What I'm trying to say, I guess, is, like, the that's like how her thoughts have gone. She's kind of like sinking into reality.
More like sour.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like she's kind of just like sinking into reality.
Yeah.
And it's like really cool to see that over the course of camera, being able to tell that story.
Yeah, I agree.
But that opening scene was really, really pretty with her dancing and stuff. Do you have one?
Yeah, I really appreciated the opening scene too. And then like I like how it reminded me of like we were talking about it before, but it reminded me of like before the dancing part when it was like starting and like the music in the back and then the flashing of the year. It reminded me of like the old, is it like movies? I guess I could say like the old movies.
Yeah.
And then I like how like it had that like part of like in every movie where like someone's in a fantasy, and then like it's like the record scratch of like someone opens the door on them or like. It's like, and then she's like, oh, like, because her mom opens the door while she's dancing. He's like, what the hell are you doing?
You do not do that dance.
Yeah. It's like, damn, mom. The hell?
I really enjoyed the like shirt bomb. She was
really good too.
You did a really good job with her what's it called? Her role.
Mm-hmm. You know who that was?
Yes, her name was Tandy Wright. She's a TV actress from New Zealand. She did a very good job in that movie, what is another? So my second note is, yo, what the fuck did that goose do? With like 3 question marks. I like the parallel to like the original stab when she stabs what's his face through the head with the pitchfork.
Yeah.
In X, the like older guy, I think it is. It's either the older guy or the cameraman.
It was I think it was the older guy.
Yeah, but anyway, he got pitchforked in the face. And that goose got pitchforked in the same way. It was the same sound effect too. It was really cool.
Yeah, before she stabbed the goose, I put a note because like she had like went on a whole like dancing display. When like she would always say like her animals were her audience.
Right.
I just put I too would perform for my farm animals. You know, just like because there's a part where she just like runs up on the haystack and she's like the best thing ever.
I'm gonna be a star.
She stabs the fucking goose. Like just like Affleck. Like damn, fucked up. She ain't have to do it. It's like what did the goose do? Like he just, I love how. Do you remember how the goose came in? Like he slides into the right at the door, and he just walks in.
I was at my parents' house when I was watching this, and my mom like hates violent stuff, and she watches true crime, but she hates like movies that show like blatant violence. Yeah, so it was really funny when she came in. She noticed. I was like, oh no, she's not gonna do that, is she? Like I was saying that out loud, and my mom was like, oh okay, I'm going in, and she like didn't watch and like tried to run inside. It was really funny.
She like probably never came back out, did she?
No, she came out one time. Actually, she came out right as the movie ended, and she saw the still of her like smiling, and she was like, "That's one creepy bitch," is what she said.
I can hear her saying that.
Yeah.
That's a crazy bitch.
My mom's near 50, so please take that into account.
Oh, that's funny.
She was chugging morphine in the movie. She went to go pick up her dad's morphine. She was like, glug, glug, glug. Smoke a joint or something. Like, why are...
I had a funny comment or a funny note where when she went in the theater to like watch the movie or whatever, like everybody's in masks because of the influenza thing. I was like, COVID question mark?
I was trying to figure out why I said the mask parallel was interesting. Yeah. That was
I was like, cool. Oh, it's COVID, but obviously it's not COVID. I thought that was funny.
I liked how they played that into.
Yeah, I thought that was good. And then there was a point where like the
probably made shooting really easy. Shooting that scene was probably super
easy.
Oh yeah,
right.
Because they still have like COVID protocols.
What's the guy's title? The dude who was running the actual films. What was it called? Like what was his title?
Projectionist.
The projectionist at one point said the word, I don't know if he said epidemic or pandemic. He said pandemic. He did say pandemic. He's like, when this pandemic is all over, like, I'm going to Europe. And that's when he was talking about going to Europe. So, like, and I put, like, didn't we all want to dance at some point? She's like, I want to dance. I was like, yeah, I wanted to dance too. And I was like fucking 5, you know.
I want to be like Michael Jackson. Well, not exactly.
Not exactly like him,
but you know, close enough. Like the dancing part and the lip singing part, but
the dancing part,
not a lot of the other stuff.
Maybe not so much the other stuff.
I liked. This kind of goes in with what I said about the cinematography, but I like how the film style changes with her mental health, and like it changes pretty drastically at some points. I feel like the speed of the movie, like the speed of all the scenes, like changes with the stuff that happens to her. Something will happen to her, and then a super fast, you know, really upbeat scene will come that's like very intense. Score is like really intense.
I didn't even realize that. Like, what do you mean? Like, I probably like wasn't paying attention.
Well, like in the scene where she realizes she's getting, you know, one night standed by the projectionist, and she like it's like all of a sudden it just turns, and then like the score builds and builds and builds. And, I mean, maybe I'm just explaining how movies work, but I don't know. I felt like they did like they balanced it super super well. And a lot of movies can't do that. A lot of movies don't allow the movie to sit in subtlety when it needs to, and then like speed it up and ramp it up. Like sometimes there's movies for me, they're pretty dull when it's just like action, 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 action. I mean, I watch the Marvel movies, but still, yeah, I can only watch them, you know, all so much, you know.
Yeah,
but
eventually I have to switch it up.
Yeah. Do you have any other notes?
So after that, like, didn't we all want to dance at some point? She talks to the projectionist or whatever, and then he tells her to wait outside. And he brings her back, like, the film, and he cuts off a piece of it for her. And it's the, you know, the piece where the girls are not dancing, but they're all standing there or whatever. And she's on the way home, and she's riding her bike. She's all happy, and the film piece comes out of her pocket.
Yeah.
And it goes into the cornfield or corn maze or whatever. And I wrote, now what in the fuck made her think she would find that reel in a fucking corn maze? That's literally what I wrote. I was like, what? Because like shit flies out, and she's like, and it just like goes in there, and it's like, you're not fucking finding that shit. Like,
in an early 2000s scary movie, she is getting murdered by a serial killer.
Killed. But since she's the crazy one,
yeah, she's the killer.
She's the fucking killer. But I'm just like, what the fuck made her think she was finding that?
I think that one has an opener on it, that thing right there. On the
end. Right, thank you,
buddy. But, yeah, I also had the score was really good.
The score was really good?
Yeah. Yes. I think it's the other way around. No, like the...
Oh, stupid.
It's like this. Oh, I think it's broke. I think it's supposed to go like this, but I don't. Oh no, actually, I look stupid too. We got it! Hey!
We were both like, what? Thanks.
We did it. That's cool because I have a.
The score was really good though, because like how you were mentioning, like, you know, know when to ramp up. Look at that.
Oh no.
Okay. Like know when to ramp up and shit.
Don't sue, please.
No. What's this? Finding new films.
Fuck.
But
No.
No one to ramp up and just
I
like
have to put that into the book.
A great idea. Hand me a piece of paper.
Hand you a piece of paper.
Yeah, like a bunch.
Okay. Oh, fear. I didn't realize what that was for. I got you. But, you know, yeah, the score
was really good, I agree. And, like, just the different, like, the energy of it all was really good. It was really well done.
Yeah, I thought it was... You know? I thought it was crazy when it needed to be crazy. I thought it was really, really subtle when it needed to be subtle. In that moment where Pearl has, like, her 8-minute monologue to Mitzi, like, it's completely silent.
That shit was great.
Yeah, she was...
That shit was great.
I just thought the music was well placed, well done, and just really good. Maybe that's also a hat off to the editing team.
For sure. Yeah. I had a note talking about when she did go into the corn maze, and she gets to a point where she's fucking a scarecrow, and she like throws him on the ground, and like the part where she like is dancing with them, I literally wrote the creep factor on this part is 1,000 right now, and then obviously as like the scene progresses, she starts kissing it, and like I'm just doing my notes as I'm like watching. I say, ew, she's kissing it, and I'm like now she's fucking it.
I got now she's dropping Riz on the scarecrow. And then I have, she's tonguing the scarecrow / the projectionist.
Oh my god.
And then I said, cowgirl on the scarecrow to climax, ? And then I wrote, what the fuck?
I love the part where she like is like fucking the scarecrow, and she goes to pick up its head, and it's a projectionist, and like she hits it off, and she's like, I'm married! It's like, are you?
She gave it to that scarecrow. He didn't even ask.
I love how her screams get louder, and then like it like pans out to like just the corn maze, and you just hear her screaming. And it's just, like,
I love
the
how
next
they
scene is
had
her
the
riding up to her house on her bike.
Yeah, I love how they had the damn. That must have been crazy.
What?
Like post orgasm, having to ride your bike down a gravel road.
You just gotta pull up on your mom like, hey,
shit,
nothing happened.
Yeah. Choking her dad was a little wild. In that scene where she was just like,
yeah,
just put it on him.
It was so weird because like, I'm not like being like, oh, that was okay, because it wasn't. Before she starts choking him and she's like touching him and like feeling him and like she's like, are you still in there? Like I understood where she was coming from in the sense of like, damn, like my dad's a vegetable, and she's just like looking at him and she's like, are you still in there?
Yeah.
But then the choking part, I was just like, well, that's a little. I'm not sure why that happened. But yeah, I feel like there was a lot of the times before everything started happening, I felt really bad for her, just because like as she would always say to like when she was talking to the projectionist, even where she's like, man, like is all like my life is taking care of my dad and being on the phone with my mom, like. That's a sucky ass life, Like,
yeah, and he's like, well, you can leave anytime.
You can leave if you want to, like, bitch.
No, I can't.
Not really.
What are you talking about?
I also have a note there. I said, this is when she first went back to the projectionist. I said, shout out OG Dirty Movies. For him making her like look in the thing and like see like the dirty movie. She's
yeah,
like,
I definitely did not know they had snuff film.
Me either. I was like, what the fuck? I was really surprised by it. But yeah, I was like,
maybe that's not historically accurate, maybe, but I thought that was really fun.
Yeah.
It was like pretty bad though.
It was. It wasn't good content.
There's no story. Yeah, just 2 out of 10.
2 out of 10 on that.
I had a note that it was interesting to me that Pearl didn't like speaking German. She like always heard her mother speak German, but she never spoke German back to her mom.
Right, she always responded in English. I noticed that too. I did notice that.
Thought that was a really good way of showing resentment, through not speaking, like not through anything spoken, but it was a fuck you to be like, I'm not, I don't care that I'm German. Rejecting your culture and stuff. But then she had that scene where she said, well, if only they just die.
Yeah.
And you're like...
To the projectionist?
Yeah, and he was like, huh?
She's like, I have to act like she didn't say that.
I wrote her internal thoughts took over.
Literally, bro. When the scene where she was arguing with her mom before that shit went down, and they're like going back and forth, like she takes her dinner or whatever. She's like, you can't eat, and she tries to get up, and her mom's like, no, I'll come back, and I'm going anywhere. And then she like finds the paper or whatever, and like she loses her. I like that whole scene. Like I really appreciated that whole scene. Just like the back and forth of it, like her mom, the anger in her mom's voice, and just her being pissed off in general, is totally understandable. Like in that scene, I understood both of them. Like, I understand what her mom was like. Like, you said it when we were talking about it. Like, it was just like, I'm trying to make sure we live. You know what I mean? Like, from a mom's perspective. It's like, I just want to make sure we're good. Yeah, like, and you're like, granted, she should be. She's like, you're worried about, like, getting off the farm and living your own life. It's like, I'm trying to make sure you're okay and, like, you don't die and, like, all this other stuff.
Being selfish.
Yeah. It's like, I get where she was coming from, but also it's like, I get where Pearl was coming from. It's like, Mom, what the fuck? Like,
that's what's interesting about this movie. You can empathize with both of them, but then Pearl just has bad mental health, and then, you know, she's got mental illness, and then it just kind of goes south for her because she doesn't get what she wants.
Yeah. It's kind of fucked.
Yeah.
I have a note where I asked
it's a tragedy.
Obviously, the people that made Hereditary were involved in this. And I literally,
I think so, probably.
Yeah, they were. I don't know what I remember seeing it when I watched the trailer.
Okay.
So I'm not sure what they did, but I remember saying Hereditary from the creators of Hereditary. But
yeah,
I didn't even remember that when I wrote this note. I said, "Is this Hereditary?" Because when her mom fell into the fire and she engulfed in the flames, I was like, "Oh shit, that's like when old girl's fucking husband just fucking spontaneously combusted." But that was a fucked up part.
I think they were talking about A24. They both got released by A24.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, basically, it's the same producer.
I'm about to say it literally looked like the same scene to me, honestly.
It was the same producers. So, it's not.
And I was like, oh shit, and like she fucking threw the pot of corn at her. And, like, Jesus, bro. And like by that time she was burnt to fucking shit, man. Yeah. I was like, holy hell.
That was rough.
Her just knocking her down the stairs.
Crisp corpse just showing up.
Throughout the rest of the movie, ugh.
That was horrible.
But her just throwing her down the stairs?
Yeah, it was like when Charlie's head kept popping up in Hereditary.
Oh, I remember that.
And her maggot-infested head pops up on the screen.
Speaking of maggots, I really like that, the fucking pig. Yeah. When Mitzi and her mom brought the pig, and her mom, or not her mom, but fucking Pearl's mom took it, but left it on the porch. Because she didn't want to take it.
She didn't really take it. I mean, she didn't give a fuck.
She just I don't know if Pearl's mom took it or if Mitzi's mom just left on the porch because she wouldn't take it. Yeah. Because I remember when they were going back, she wouldn't take it from her. So I think she might have just sat on the porch.
She's like, we'll find it there.
She just left it there. And I love, through the whole rest of the movie, you just, see it. Yeah. And then it's periodically just getting worse, and then maggots and shit like that. And of course, the end, she puts it on the fucking table. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, it accentuated the scene where the projectionist, really was like, oh, fuck, this girl's weird.
Yeah, he sees it, and he's like...
And then it's, one of the first tip-off, seeing her dead parents. And then the pig is, the super tip-off, where it's like, what is going on?
Remember Mitzi saw it, she was like, is that her pig?
Yeah. And it was a reference point for where Pearl was throughout the movie too, as far as her mental health still deteriorating.
Dude, that bitch was crazy.
So that was a cool metaphor, I guess.
I really felt bad for her dad before she left to the show. She killed her dad.
Yeah, that was pretty rough.
Do you remember what she said to him before she did it?
I'm sorry, or I don't know. I don't exactly
She said something. But she, fucking suffocates him. I'm like, jeez, man. He ain't do nothing.
Yeah.
Her mom didn't either, but, I can get you wanting to do that, but, your dad didn't do nothing.
I may have had it written down. I did not. Yeah, I don't know. That was really rough.
Just, a pity of her being crazy is just, she brings this guy back to her house where she just killed her mom. Her dad watches her do it. She posts her dad up in the living room, and then she introduces the man to her dad who just saw her kill his wife. And she's like, hey, this is whatever. And it's just and then she tries to go and have sex with the guy. With her. It's just what the fuck? I don't know. That whole, I was like, Jesus Christ. What the hell? And he's like, hey, we should probably go check on that. She's like, nah, it's all good.
We're good, man. It's fun.
Oh my god, it was so weird.
Yeah, she really pulls creepy off well.
Mm-hmm.
In both movies.
What ended up being the sound? Was it her mom?
I think it was her mom, like, because she was like, "Oh, that's my dog."
Okay,
yeah. And
I thought you said he had a dog.
Yeah.
Oh, that scene right there was also like that was what tipped him off right there because he was already like creeped out.
He's like, "Yeah."
And then that right there, he was like, "Yeah, I gotta go." Dude, I really like the scene where like that happens. And he's like, "Yeah, I'm leaving, or like I'm about to go," and like he was really like cool about it. He's like, "Yeah, I need to be getting back." And she's like, "Did I do something wrong?"
Yeah.
And fucking, bro, she did that so well. Like where her eyes like light up, and she's like, "I do something." And he's like, "No, Pearl, like whatever," and she's like, "No, like I read people well.
I gotta go show the matinee." And
dude, she's like, "No, I read people well. Like, what did I do wrong? You're not taking me to Europe, are you?" And then she just like turns up here, and he's like, "Oh shit, oh fuck." Like I would have got scared too.
Yeah,
it's like, what? She did that really well.
Yeah, that was really well acted by her. She
just starts exploding. Like she starts like tearing up and like
the turn.
I'm out of here.
Yeah,
I'm fucking out.
It's really the turn too.
Yeah,
going from being like, oh, starry eyed to being like, you
what? Loses it, bro.
You're not gonna.
Like, what the fuck?
I'm married. That visual that she has of her husband coming home and then he just explodes into a million.
Oh my god! Yeah, I remember. Remember when her and Howard, sorry. What was the projectionist dude's name?
Give me a sec.
Did he say it?
Yeah, he did.
All I ever remember him saying is, "I'm the projectionist."
I'm the projectionist. Yeah. What were you gonna say though?
I was gonna say, because you mentioned the scene where she imagines him exploding when he was coming home. Mm-hmm. I remember when her and the projectionist dude are on the way back to her house, and they see her husband walking on the side of the road. Yeah. And he's like, "There's somebody you know?" And she was like, "I don't know." I thought that was kind of crazy.
I don't know if that was the husband though. I think I just maybe on the soldier.
Okay, I thought that was like some type of like weird scene of some sort, I guess. Like I thought like they were both meant to see him, but it like wasn't a real person. I don't know.
No, I think they just saw a soldier on the road,
and she was like, I don't know.
I don't know. I could be wrong.
I could be wrong too. I mean, they both saw him. That makes sense.
Yeah, no, he doesn't have a name. He's just the projection.
Are you serious? I mean, that's fair.
It's all about Pearl. I mean, I don't think he really needs a name. I mean,
yeah. I also love.
He's not like a 3-dimensional character, anyways.
That's fair. Yeah, he didn't really hold like big significance. He was just another murder case.
Yeah, he was just the first one to go. No, her dad was.
I thought her mom was.
That's right.
Yeah, it was her mom. Then it was her dad. Then the projectionist.
I wrote down the monologue Pearl's mom gave before she caught on fire was incredible acting, and the line about failure was absolutely cold.
It was.
Oh my god.
When you fail?
No, it was where she was saying like, I know what failure is. Every time I look at you, I know what failure is. Mm-hmm. Like, basically.
And then, like, when she's talking about how, like, she's like,
I hate you, I hate you, I hate you, I hate you.
Being mad about having to be there taking care of her dad. Yeah. And she's like, how do you think I feel? Like, it's my husband. Like,
yeah. We're supposed to be falling in love with each other, and I have to babysit him. I don't want to be his mother.
Yeah, that's what she said.
Like, I don't want to be his mother.
Like, that fucking hurt.
The realism that's behind, like, her catching on fire, like, the way that it happened, and then, like, how she acted about it. I really enjoyed that. Because we're in Hereditary, when the husband catches on fire, he's just like, ah, 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 ah.
Yeah. And then she just screams.
She's like a blood-curdling scream.
Yeah, that was a really good scream.
Women are good at screaming.
They are.
I'll be honest.
It's a really good scream. Excuse me.
Especially when they're in movies.
Damn.
And then I have wrote down, poor projectionist guy didn't deserve that.
He really didn't. I think he's stupid for not seeing her come around that fucking corner, though. Because, bruh, if that just happened to me, if that situation just happened to me, I know it's a movie, but, like, I'm walking away and watching her. Like, my car is right there. I'm out of here. Like, I'm watching her, but I'm also like, okay, you're crazy. Yeah. And she was like, what did she say before she stabbed me? She's like, nothing is stopping me from leaving this farm or something like that. Yeah. And she fucking chucks him and was like, holy shit.
Yeah, she's pretty
crazy.
She's pretty wild.
She's wild, bro. She literally turned her parents' farm into a fucking murder scene.
Yo, Pearl, you're wilding right now.
Hey, Pearl, listen, baby, you wild. I ain't gonna lie to you. But,
oh my god, Pearl's face during those like when she's waiting for the audition and she's like zoned in.
She was a savage.
She's about
to talking to Macy like it has to be me. She's a savage. It has to be.
She looks like she's about to get subbed in Game 7.
That was good. Pearl's like, put me in, coach.
She's like,
I'm ready.
It's gotta be me.
It's gotta be. She's determined, bro.
And then Mitzi's
like, I don't think you better say that out loud.
Mitzi's like talking like some bullshit. And she's just like
deadpan, bro. Like, it's gotta be me. That was hard.
She was
because honestly, the confidence Pearl had right there is the confidence I want in every situation. Not the killing prior, but the confidence in that situation. That's what I want.
That's who you want taking the shot. You know what I mean? That's who you want. That's who I want on my team taking that shot.
That's who you want taking the shot. Look at people
that perform. If you ask me right now, between Stephen Curry,
no way, and Pearl,
and Pearl,
who are you taking?
I'm taking Pearl.
Why did I think for a second you're about to say Andre Iguodala? I swear I thought you were going to say it. I'm taking Pearl. Hey, I'm probably taking Pearl too, bro. The confidence was through the roof. And then, like, when, like,
shot her shot. She still missed it, but
she missed it.
But she
really fucking bad.
Yeah, no, but
when Pearl was just like, I don't think, not Pearl, but Macy's like, I don't think you're going to say that out loud. And she's like, in her head, she's like, yeah, I did, bitch. Like, I don't care. Like, yeah, I said it.
This is my destiny.
Then Macy was a punk. But even though she won, she's like, Pearl, get in front of me. Like, get in front of me.
Yeah, fuck her for that.
Fuck her for that.
The slow-mo pre-audition, like when Pearl is walking in and like everything is like slowing down for her because she's so nervous, that was really good.
It was really good. I really liked the performance too. I said, look what I wrote. Encore. This is really good. When she said at the ending when they told her no and she was crying, she was like, "But that's the best dancing I've ever done." She was fucking right. She killed that shit. Like, they could have if anything, they could have showed us Mitzi's performance if they were gonna do that to Pearl. I'm just saying.
Wednesday Addams, step away, Jenna Ortega. That's why you were in X and you weren't in Pearl.
Talk about it.
That's why you died in X. No hate, actually.
No hate. Have you seen Wednesday?
No,
I haven't either.
I've seen the dance too much. Stop.
I saw Pearl dance, and that shit was tough.
For real.
Like,
watch Pearl dance.
Come on now. Yeah. I'm just saying.
He is.
She definitely killed that. They didn't want her because she wasn't
She didn't have the X factor.
Oh shit. I'm attached, sorry. But come on now.
That was the name of the last of the original, but
don't know if y'all noticed, but when she was coming on the stage, there was a fucking X on the floor. X marks the spot. She had to stand there to perform. Are you serious?
That's continuity.
Come on
now. That was
Easter
egg.
That was there.
You gotta be looking out for that.
Then what'd you say? The dude said it. He said she didn't have what? What she didn't have?
X factor.
Come on now. Go
X. Like
go ahead.
The letter X.
Okay.
Anyway.
I'm just saying.
When she was crying, yelling at the person,
dude,
at the panel of judges after not getting it, that was so scary.
That was really scary. It was scary, and I felt really bad. I literally, for that, the only note I had is Jesus Christ.
That's cringe.
Like, because the yelling, and then just like, oh, I felt so bad, but I was also like, bitch, you're crazy. Yeah. You know? It's like, damn. So, because, like, before she started yelling, and she ended the performance, and she was like this. She was doing the RKO, the Randy Orton thing. She was like this, and then the guy was like, thank you, but it's a no. And then she's still like this, and she's like, what?
It's like, you said what?
You said what?
Oh, I have to kill you. That sucks.
That's the best dance I've ever done.
Yeah.
But yeah, the freaking out was crazy.
Right after that, we go into that big monologue from Pearl, which is basically Mitzi asks her, like, oh, just pretend I'm Howard and you're writing a letter to me.
That was
and
awesome.
She just lays it out about how she basically wants to kill her half-brother, or Mitzi's half-brother, who is Howard, her Pearl's husband.
That's probably the best scene in the movie. Right?
It was very, very well done, well written, and a lot of stuff that Pearl said was justified in that.
It was.
You can feel empathy for her situation.
You can.
And
that was really good.
It was really sad. It really made this movie out to be more of a tragedy than it really did make it out to be like the movie Split, where it's just like, oh, he crazy. That's why he does this. And it's like she's like, she's technically, I guess she's crazy, but like she's aware of it. She's like accountable for it. She feels remorse.
Mm-hmm.
She regretted killing her dad.
That's what I was gonna say. I love through the whole thing that she acknowledged that, like, yeah,
she had like some accountability, and she was like aware that she was a bad person in the way that most serial killers are. And I thought that was a nice touch to bring it back to realism.
Mm-hmm.
Because I even think X, in the way that I said that Pearl has that like deteriorating stylization throughout the movie, where it kind of becomes like more and more real looking throughout the movie. X did the same thing, where it started out where it was like super like tropey, and then it kind of just like the realism part of it just takes over.
Oh my god, bro! But the parts of X were just like when the dude was like when like the main guy, and like I don't know her name in the movie, Maxine, I guess. And like the black dude, Kid Cudi, whoever he was, and like the white woman, I don't know her name.
The blonde girl.
Yeah, his like girlfriend, I guess, when they would like flirt and like, and she's like, ooh, like that was the tropiness of it for me. I'm like, this fucking like it was good, but it was just like, I hate this.
Yeah, but I enjoyed it.
It was like the epitome of like Texas Chainsaw Massacre beginnings.
Yeah.
Like you remember the beginning of that movie was so tropey.
Yeah.
But it got really good. So
it got over on me. Like it won me over.
I have a note where I said when you're getting murder off your chest.
Oh my god. She dropped that line on Mitzi. Oh, sorry, I want to talk about this really badly. Mitzi's face after Pearl finally stops. And Mitzi's face trying to navigate how she's going to get out of this situation. Because Pearl is basically now admitted that she's murdered people. To her twice. She's murdered three people now.
3 people, yeah.
So, like, she's like, I like disturbing small animals.
Dude. Just spilling, bro.
Just everything. She let everything out. She really envisioned that Howard was right in front of her. Yeah, she goes, well.
I thought that shit was so funny.
That was such a...
She was like, I think she was like something behind the leash. She's like, Mama's gonna be worried about me. She's like,
yeah. Like, that's the least of her worries.
Oh my god, dude, that's hilarious.
Yeah. Poor Mitzi, though.
Poor fucking Mitzi.
Hatcheted. She also dropped that cold-ass line on Mitzi where she was saying that she was just making the best of what she had.
What happened?
Her mom told her that she was making the best of what she had. And then Pearl later on drops the same line on Mitzi. She's like, why are you doing this? And she goes, I'm just making the best of what I had.
Okay.
And then she pops her and kills her.
Oh my god. By the way, Mitzi was a fucking idiot. I wrote that in here. I said, Mitzi is a dumbass for not taking off those shoes and hauling ass. Bro, like, when she was running away from you, like, somebody help me. Bro, why did you not take your shoes off and get the fuck out of there? Yeah. Like, she was slow walking you down with an axe. Run, you stupid. Like,
and she fell down.
And then she fell down. Well, she got hit, twice before she fell down, which is even crazier to me, but...
And then she gets dismembered. And that's the only time...
Dude, that was a really good scene, too. Like,
it was the only time where Or no, sorry, I was gonna say that's the only time when Pearl speaks German, but it was Ruth singing in German, her mom.
Oh yeah.
But the contrast to that was really cool.
I like that. I like those scenes where like when she was just remembering everybody and like the singing and everything, and she's throwing the fucking pieces of. It's like Jesus Christ, man. This girl is insane.
It was wild. We already talked about a decomposing pig and decomposing parents.
At the dinner table?
That forced smile is like etched in my brain. She held that shit forever.
You know what I wrote about that? I wrote
the tears weren't really on.
I said LOL, the end where she's just holding the smile and starts to cry. I was like, you can hear the director's literally saying, "Hold it."
Hold it.
Hold it. Like just telling her to hold it. That was long. Like if her just doing that was a long time.
Yeah, she was.
That's commitment right there.
She committed the hell out of that.
That's really good.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that.
Poor Mitzi.
Yeah, and then I just
Mitzi got dumped on.
Yeah, she really did.
For no reason.
My very, very last note was the score was near perfect. The score got 2 notes in this one. That's how you know it was really good. Because it really, really was near like perfect.
It was.
That's it for my notes. Do you have any more notes?
The last 2 I have are when Howard came home.
Oh yeah.
I put imagine coming home from fucking war into that shit. Poor Howard, bro. Imagine coming home from war.
You literally
just like went through war.
And mind you, the second film is 1979, so this is now 60 years later. Howard is still alive. He's still Pearl's husband and ex.
Bro.
So he's just been indoctrinated.
I didn't even know that until you told me.
Yeah.
And like I had to realize it. I'm like, damn. Because when he came home and he like saw everything, he was just like, what the fuck?
He's just fucking been indoctrinated for his literal entire life. They
were
were 80 years old in the movie.
Damn, were they? They were pretty.
Because he had just enrolled in the service. I'm guessing he was like 18 or 19 or something. I'm pretty sure she says this.
So your current wife has just killed people. Literally just went through war, woman. Why the fuck is this what I'm coming home to? I thought that was insane. And then the last one I had was I feel so sorry for her dad because he didn't fucking deserve that shit. He was just a vegetable because that happened to be the case. Did they ever even say like what happened?
No, I don't think so.
To be that way.
Yeah, I don't think it really needed any more depth. I mean, I think it was really. I feel like everything really was just like to show like the weight that she felt on her. Like the stress and the pressure that she felt from such a young age. So just be like a trooper about it. And she, when you have unchecked mental illness, it doesn't really mesh well with increased constant stress and someone releasing all of their stress onto you like her mom did.
It was a really good scene that we went past, which like it was very like small, but the scene where she wills her dad up to the dock or whatever, and she's about to do it, and her mom comes out. Like, what are you doing?
And her mom mentions that in the monologue that she delivers before the thing.
Oh, she's like should I?
I'm afraid of you.
Yeah,
I'm afraid of you. Like I think you're going to kill people one day. I really think you're going to kill people, and then she kills her like 15 minutes later. Well, I know she dies a few days later.
I also love how like even though. Question: is her dad technically a vegetable? If you could see his emotion, you know what I mean? Like you could see that he was scared.
Yeah, you knew he just couldn't speak. He was just like he's not necessarily a vegetable. They had the word they used in the
that man was sweating.
Infirm is a good way of putting it. He's just paralyzed from the neck down, basically.
That was fucked. I felt so bad for him because like he didn't deserve it.
Yeah, I don't think he did.
And she said that at the end. Like she said she regretted doing what she did, but like
Daddy didn't deserve
that. Because he fucking didn't.
No, he really didn't.
Like what do you do that for?
Fucking asshole.
Like no one really deserved any of it, but it's like, damn, bro, your dad didn't do shit. Like,
we were talking to our roommate Nolan about it, and he literally was like, I can't watch slashers because they just make me sad.
That is what he said.
Like people just die, and I feel bad, but yeah, grow the fuck up, dude.
Grow the fuck up. It's a movie. I hope you watch this one. Science. Alright, sorry.
But we're gonna get into themes now. I've got like 12. So I'll sprint through them. We don't really need to.
Tyrese Maxey just had a tough bucket right there. That's crazy.
Fuck the 76ers. Anyway,
Let's hit the fence.
I was going to say the Phillies.
Oh.
The baseball team. So I have woman versus self. I have inability to express oneself, vulnerability, tradition versus change, repression, depression, youth versus age, loss of innocence, violence, blind rage, sacrifice, loneliness, and war at home. Yeah, I mean, that kind of, I think, covers it. Is there anything you wanted to spend time on that?
I guess not really spend time, but I'll emphasize on the sacrifice point, just because obviously this is not what made her go crazy, because she would have been that anyway. But definitely making a point of like her again, like speaking earlier of like getting where she was coming from, of having to like, oh, I gotta be on this farm and take care of my not here dad, and like my mom kind of sucks, but like I understand where she's coming from, but like my mom kind of sucks, gotta take care of my dad. It's like, this is my life, like this is like I have to do this, like, you know what I mean, like that fucking sucks, you know what I mean. And like granted, she was fucking insane after the fact, but like that would make anybody go fucking crazy, like it's ass. And all she wanted, like the whole premise of the movie was like she wanted to get the fuck off that farm.
Yeah.
Like, literally, that was it. She just wanted to get the fuck off that farm, and she couldn't.
Yeah.
So then it's just like, everything around that just happened because she wanted to get the fuck off that farm. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that would.
So, like, I really understood that.
I agree.
But everything else I do not agree with. Everything else that happened because of her wanting to get off that farm, crazy.
Yeah, questionable to say the least.
Very questionable.
To say the very least.
But damn, she wanted to get off that farm.
Even sacrifice from her mom, and I mean, you can even say like Mitzi had some sacrifice because she couldn't tell her mom about the dance thing. But but I'm sure when she got home and she told her mom, she was like, if she were able to go home. But
dude, I'm not gonna lie, I thought, which I don't know why I did think this, but I thought at the end when Mitzi was like leaving, I thought she was gonna let her go. I really did. Like for a second, I did, and then once she told her she had won. I feel like that like sent her over. She was just like, yeah, nah.
I've seen the poster and I saw the axe, and when I saw the axe in the at the like near beginning of the movie, I was like, somebody has to die with that axe. And the projectionist didn't, her dad didn't, and her mom didn't. I was like, somebody got to die with that axe. And as soon as like the framing had the house on like the right side, I was like, she better get murdered.
The scene when Mitzi does walk out and she's like walking in there, and then Pearl comes outside and like she's like watching her walk behind her. That was a really good scene just because it was like so quiet, and then the door just opens. She grabs the axe and just starts walking towards her. And it's like, oh shit! Like
that's
there's no dramatic music or anything. It's just like, yeah, this is happening.
Exactly, man. I love the use of the score. It's like it accentuates the moments that it needs to accentuate, and when it doesn't need to be there, it just lets
it's not there. Yeah.
The part of that is so vile is how human it is, and like you seeing her die. Like
that shit was real.
Like death is superhuman and doesn't need like a dun 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 dun.
It literally that didn't need any of it. And then like her hitting her one time, it's like that was realistic of her like still being up and running because like I want to live. Like I'm out of here. And hits her again. She's like, oh shit.
It would have taken like a few hits.
Right? Yeah, I really liked that. That was really good. That was really well done.
I thought so as well.
But damn, it was fun.
Yeah, it really was. But we're near the end. All we got to do now is give it a rating. So we're going to pull up the list real quick. Over here, and view, and full screen. So we got the list up. Cool. We know.
Do you have who you watched it with, or you just have the
I don't. I have it in my phone who we've watched these with.
movies?
I don't even know if you guys can see that on the camera, if I'm being honest. But what would be your rating for this movie?
It's out of 10, right?
Yes. You know, I have a 0.75 for Apocalypse Now. So if you want to do like 2 3/4, 2 1/4, or I guess not 2, but like 5 1/4 or something.
I'll give it a 9.
Giving it a 9.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna give it a good 8. I think it's a nice stylized movie, like a good genre movie, and that ties it at 4th, with Gone Girl and Clerks. So pretty high up there, out of 9 at this point.
Mm-hmm.
It's more than halfway up the list.
Can we do Maxine if we watch it together? I guess we could, right?
I mean, we could. We just don't know. We just can't talk about it. Or I mean, we can just, be professionals and just get it done.
What do you mean, like watch it separately or watch it together?
No, like we could watch it together. I think. I don't think it would be like a big deal. Yeah, I don't even know if anybody in the watching this even knows. We never watched these movies together. Like I've never once watched these together.
Yeah,
so
none of them.
So I mean,
every one we've done, we did not watch the movie together.
Yeah.
Usually Hunter always watches before me, and I watch it usually last second. This one I watch pretty early.
I don't always watch it before the guest, so I don't want to give myself.
Well, yeah, that's what I said before me.
Yeah.
You've always watched it before me. Like I've never.
I have to pester Daniel to watch movies.
Yeah. But once I watch it, I'm like, oh, this is good.
I'm glad he maybe watched that movie.
It's good.
But yeah, man. Pearl, pretty. I mean, midway up there, through 5.
This made me appreciate Mia Goth, even though Mia.
Mia Goth. Yeah.
No idea who she was before. That's why I said who she was prior. I did not. Now I do. Very good actor.
On your
actress.
radar.
She's very attractive. Love that too. So.
She is very pretty.
Very nice to look at her.
She's pretty cool. Pretty great actress, actor. And.
She just wanted to be a dancer.
She really did just want to be a dancer. We're looking forward to Maxine. I think it's still in production. I think they're still filming it. So, that'll probably be like next year if this is still going. Hopefully it is because I like doing this.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, this has been Finding New Films. We found Pearl this week. And next week, which we're filming next week's in like 2 days. Because we got a new schedule, and it's going to be a little weird at first for me, but once we get the hang of it, it'll be alright. But this weekend, me and Trevor are going to be doing Psycho by Alfred Hitchcock. Funny name. It's from 1960, and I wanted to say, this will be the 7th decade that we've hit in 10 episodes. Completely on accident. Just because I don't pick the movies every week and they don't either. And I've never told somebody what to pick. I just pick. And that's really interesting that we've hit 7 decades. We've literally hit 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s, and now with this one, it'll be 2022. This is the 2020s movie, and the next week will be the 1960s movie. We hit 2 decades in these past. Or in this week and the next week. So,
when someone else picks a movie, like do you guys ever, or like, if someone else were to pick the movie and come to you like, hey, this one, if you haven't seen it, are you like no? Like, would you ever say no? She said no to me once, but I was like, a joke.
I think
you said no to me for that fucking Harry Styles movie.
Oh yeah. Don't worry.
I was joking. That was funny.
I'm glad you were. I'm glad you were. I'm still kind of.
I might for myself just for shits and giggles,
but Spencer still wants to come on and watch La La Land, and I still am like.
I thought you've seen that.
No, I haven't. Oh. I saw the opening scene and I was like, yeah, turned it off. Because I don't like musicals that much, but I'm willing to give it a chance again, especially for the pod, because I think it'll be funny if I don't like it. But
that's fair.
Yeah, we gotta get Spencer on here. last week was his birthday, and this week some stuff came up.
Oh wow, Trevor was the only one that's been up here for his birthday. Remember, like he was actually here. He was up here on his birthday.
If Spencer was coming on his birthday, I would have given him his present on camera again. But
yeah, that would have been cool.
Maybe you can be on here for your birthday.
I was literally about to say that. My birthday's
when is so? The next episode. So this episode is going to come out on March 3rd, and the next episode comes out March the 10th. And then I think David had basically claimed the episode after that. So
I probably couldn't be.
That would be like right on your birthday. But you could do the next one after David.
Okay.
It would just be like a belated thing. Or we would be filming, I guess, like on the Saturday, like right after your birthday.
Like the next week.
It would come out Friday, March 17th, and then I would be filming on Saturday or Sunday.
Okay.
18th or 19th, right on your birthday. So, yeah, I guess I could give you your present on. Yeah, we could do that. You could be the one after David. So it'll be Trevor, then David, then Daniel. That's cool for me. I've already got it figured out for the next 3 weeks.
Yeah.
But, anyway, cool extended epilogue for the long-time listeners. Get a little info into our lives.
What we do on a daily basis.
Yeah.
But no, I really enjoyed the movie. So far, the ones that we've done, this is probably the most enjoyable to me. And then after this one, probably Taxi Driver. Just, But I also just saw this, and maybe I'm speaking like biasly. But
You also love scary movies and slashers and
I do.
stuff like that. So
that's
honestly, I'm glad that we were able to do this because it's a movie that you really like and a style that you really like. It's a style that I really respect because I feel like a lot of the most talented filmmakers make their like first headroads in horror because it's such a genre that you can take anywhere.
It really is. That's what I like about it.
So, really cool. Glad to have a horror movie on here. There'll be another horror movie on here next week, but it'll be from fucking 62 years prior.
That's a horror movie?
Yeah. It's a psychological thriller about a murderer, psychopath. Yeah. Is
it like similar to Taxi Driver?
It's
like a psychological thriller.
No, it would be more similar to this movie. This Psycho is kind of one of the movies that started the genre of like slashers in the 80s. But yeah, pretty cool. But
thanks for having me back, man.
Really, no problem. Really You'll be back pretty soon. Thanks for doing this.
Of course.
But yeah, we've been finding new films. We found Pearl. We're gonna find Psycho next week. And I think we're going to find a French movie when we watch with David. So,
oh, really?
Yeah. But thanks for showing up. Peace out. Have a good one.
Stay real.